Close your eyes for a moment and listen, not with the ears in your head, but with the ear of spirit. Imagine you are standing in a quiet room. No clocks, no voices, only breath. And before you do not see paper or metal or digits on a screen, but a presence. Money, alive. Money with ears to hear, with a face that turns toward you, with feet that know your doorway, and hands that love to fill yours. It is watching you the way a faithful dog watches its master, waiting for the sound of your voice. What would you say to it? Would you scold it for leaving? Would you beg it to stay? Or would you welcome it as family returning home? My friend, everything you call money is imagination clothed in form. It is not a dead thing to be chased. It is a living servant that answers to the tone of your inner word. Speak to it wrongly, and it hides. Speak to it rightly, and it follows you as a shadow. Follows your body at noon. Do you feel the air shift? That is the nearness of what you have always been seeking. For years you have tried to earn your way into peace, adding figures, counting coins, bargaining with facts. All the while, the treasure stood at your shoulder, waiting to be addressed. Tonight, we end the chase. Tonight we turn and face the living presence, and we speak as one who knows. Hear me. The world is your mirror, and money is only one of its bright reflections. If you call it cold, it will turn its back. If you call it scarce, it will pass you by. But if, in the silence of your own being, you speak to it as friend and servant, if you bless its coming and bless its going, it will gather to you with a loyalty that will astonish you. So stand with me now in this quiet room. Breathe once, twice. Let the shoulders fall. Feel the ground beneath your feet as a king feels the stones of his own court. And in a voice no louder than a whisper, say within yourself, you belong with me. You are faithful to me. You never leave me. You multiply with me. Say it not as a plea, but as a recognition, as a man recognizes his own name. By the end of this message, you will not chase money again. Money will chase you. You will discover that every dollar you have ever touched was listening for the music of your belief. And when you give it the right song, it cannot help but dance your way. Come closer. The door to creation is open. Let us enter together. If you felt this message awaken something inside you, don't let it fade. Declare it now, not just to this channel, but to the universe itself. Type in the comments, I attract wealth. Let those words be your signal, your agreement with abundance, your way of saying, I'm ready to receive. Everything begins and ends in consciousness. There is no world outside the mind that conceives it. No coin that spins apart from the thought that sets it turning. Money, too, is imagination clothed in form. It is spirit taking on shape, so that you may touch and trade with what you once only felt. You call it material, but the material is only the slowest vibration of the invisible idea. When I tell you that money listens, I speak of the life that moves through all appearance, the same life that breathes in you, that beats in the heart of every dream you've ever had. From the moment we were small, we were taught to fear it. We were told that loving money was dangerous, that wanting it made us selfish, that there was never enough for everyone. We were warned that to have too much was a sin, and to have too little was a virtue. So we grew into adults who whispered about it, who chased it while pretending not to care, who prayed for it while feeling guilty for wanting it. But what if money were never the problem? What if the fear we were taught was the very wall that kept it away? The truth is this: you cannot chase what already belongs to you. You cannot beg for what is already listening. Money is not a master, it is a mirror. If you feel unworthy, it reflects lack. If you feel abundant, it multiplies. If you feel ashamed, it hides in shadow. And if you feel at peace, it comes home. The way you speak to money is the way you speak to yourself. Every belief you hold about it, whether it is hard to earn, fleeting, or unreliable, is only a reflection of what you believe about your own worth and your own power. So tonight we begin a new relationship. We no longer treat money as a stranger who must be chased or a tyrant who must be feared. We treat it as life itself, alive, responsive, obedient to the voice within. In Scripture, The great truth is whispered again and again. All things were made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made. And who is this him? It is your own. I am. The creative power sleeping in every man and woman. When you say, I am poor, you give birth to poverty. When you say, I am rich, you give birth to abundance. Not because the words have magic in their syllables, but because they reveal the state you occupy. Money is imagination clothed in form. The form changes. Coins, numbers, houses, paychecks. But the imagination that animates it is eternal. It is your consciousness wearing another face. So do not ask the outer world to change. Do not beg circumstances to rearrange themselves. Begin instead with your own awareness. Speak within, and the outer must follow. This is the heart of what I call living communion. To commune is to share breath, to recognize the same life in two forms. When you speak to money as living spirit, you are not talking to something outside yourself. You are speaking to a part of your own being that has been waiting to be acknowledged. The moment you drop the old fear, you will feel it, like air returning to lungs that forgot they could breathe. It will not be long before evidence begins to appear. A forgotten debt repaid, a gift, a new stream of income. These are only shadows of the deeper truth, that you have remembered who commands the supply. Let this be the new foundation. There is only one substance, one life, one consciousness expressing as everything you see. The rivers that carry gold, the trees that become houses, the men who sign the checks, all are movements of the same divine imagination. Therefore, bless it all. When you see a coin, bless it. When you see a rich man, bless him. When you pay a bill, bless the flow that allows it. You are not losing, you are circulating life. And life, when blessed, always returns multiplied. Now that you understand this, we can begin to practice the sacred art itself, the conversation that turns shadow into companion, that makes money remember your name. Everything you personify becomes intimate, and everything intimate becomes obedient. That is the law. When you personify a thing, when you give it a face, a voice, a presence, it ceases to be distant. It moves from theory into relationship. And what you are in relationship with, you can influence. You see, my friend, the ancients understood this better than we do. They did not speak of love as an abstract virtue. They called it a being. They did not speak of wisdom as a lesson. They called her Sophia, a living woman, clothed with light. They did not speak of sin as a number on a scale. They spoke of it as a tempter, whispering in the dark. Why? Because they knew that consciousness responds to relationship. The Bible, which is the greatest psychological drama ever written, personifies every force in existence. It speaks of wealth as a servant that can be faithful or deceitful. It calls poverty a devourer. It names faith a shield, and imagination the Son of God. When something becomes personal, it becomes possible. You cannot truly touch what you treat as an idea, but once you speak to it as you would to a friend, it steps into your world. The word made flesh is not a phrase of poetry. It is the daily law of your life. Every word you wrap in feeling, every image you give personality to, takes form. So when you speak to money, you are not playing pretend. You are doing what creation itself does, calling the unseen into being through intimacy. Think of it like this. A sculptor does not strike the marble as a stranger. He talks to it. He walks around it. He feels what it wants to become. His hands move because he is in conversation with the unseen figure within the stone. You too are sculpting reality. Only your marble is consciousness. The moment you talk to it, it begins to move. Your inner speech is prayer in motion. Every sentence you repeat in the privacy of your mind becomes a command to life. Say, money never stays often enough, and you build an obedient servant that runs from you. Say, money flows easily to me, and you breathe into it a new identity, faithful, generous, joyful. Do you remember how Scripture says, let the weak say, I am strong? That is personification at work. The weak one becomes strong by assuming strength, by addressing strength as if it already lived within him. He speaks to strength until strength speaks back. The same is true with every condition you wish to change. If you are lonely, speak to love. If you are ill, speak to health. If you are broke, speak to money. Not with fear, but with recognition. For nothing enters your experience uninvited. What you ignore remains unreal. What you speak to becomes alive. This is why I tell you, never curse what you want to bless. Never speak against what you desire to attract. Your words are not idle. They are seeds, carrying the image of the state from which they were spoken. Blessing is the breath of life, and the one who blesses a thing with presence gives it existence in their world. So when you look at your wallet, do not see emptiness. Speak to it. You are full, you overflow, you multiply. When you pay a bill, do not sigh. Whisper, you return to me multiplied, for we are in harmony. Every act of recognition creates a bond, and every bond makes the invisible visible. Here is the secret few ever grasp. You have never been poor. You have only been impersonal. You have treated life as machinery, not mystery. The moment you personalize the invisible, call it you. Speak to it as a lover speaks to the beloved, it responds. Everything you personify becomes intimate, and everything intimate becomes obedient. This is the law of personification. It is the lost key that turns the word belief into the word being. You will see how it unfolds when we step into the first practice, the inner conversation with money itself. Now let us move from knowledge to living practice, for truth, until it is felt, remains only a whisper on the wind. Sit quietly. You do not need incense or ritual. The temple is within you, and its altar is imagination. Close your eyes, not to escape the world, but to see it correctly. Breathe slowly, deeply. Feel the rhythm of life entering and leaving your body. This is the same breath that moves the tides and feeds the stars. It is the breath of God. Now bring to mind the idea of money, not as paper, not as digits glowing on a screen, but as a presence. Let it take on shape before you. Perhaps it is a gentle figure dressed in light, perhaps a companion with a warm smile, perhaps a current of gold moving like sunlight through air. Let it appear as it will. And now, speak. Money, you belong with me. You are faithful. You multiply with me. I bless you as you bless me. Do not say it as though begging an idol to move. Say it as though greeting an old friend. For that is what it is. Life itself, taking on the shape of what you have called wealth. This conversation is not imagination as pretense. It is imagination as creation. Every word you speak inwardly is seed. Every tone of feeling is the soil into which it falls. You are not asking money to visit you. You are acknowledging that it already lives with you. This is not prayer of petition. It is prayer of recognition. Feel the difference. When you ask, you affirm separation. When you recognize, you affirm unity. If fear arises, do not fight it. Simply bless it. 2. Say, fear, you have served your time. Thank you for showing me where I once believed in lack. You may rest now and return to your friend. Continue the dialogue gently. Money, I am no longer chasing you. You walk beside me. You grow in my hands. You find me wherever I go. We are partners in the work of life. You may feel a warmth, a soft pulse in the chest, a lightness around the head. That is the moment consciousness accepts the word as true. If tears come, let them. They are old agreements washing away. This is how you command with love, not by shouting into the heavens, not by pushing the river, but by recognizing that the river already flows through you. When you speak to money this way, you are restoring order to your world. You are placing spirit back above shadow, cause above effect. Command with gentleness. Authority does not mean aggression. It means awareness of origin. Say quietly within, because I am, all things are. Because I love, wealth is free to love me. Now imagine that this presence money replies. It does not speak in words, but in feeling. It says, I have been waiting for you to remember me. I was never gone. Feel that. Let it echo. You may continue the conversation as often as you wish. In the morning, when you open your eyes, greet it. Good morning, my faithful friend. When you pay for something, whisper, thank you for circulating. When you receive, say, welcome home. Every exchange is communion. Every transaction is a handshake with the invisible. You see now, prayer is not an act of pleading, but of alignment. Every time you bless, you confirm your own wealth. Every time you fear, you delay its expression. So we choose blessing. We choose love. This is the first movement in mastering the inner world, the gentle conversation that turns the unseen into companion. In the next movement, we will enter the meeting, a visualization where you will encounter this living presence face to face and feel it respond to you in silence, deeper than words. All right? Sit back and allow your body to grow heavy. So heavy it feels as if the earth itself is holding you. Your feet rest gently on the floor. Your hands rest in your lap. The breath slows, smooth and natural. Each inhale draws calm into the body. Each exhale releases every trace of tension. Now close your eyes. Let the eyelids be soft. Behind them, a warm light begins to form, not bright, but gentle, like candlelight behind silk. This light is alive. It breathes when you breathe. It hums quietly, like the ocean in the distance. And within that light, something begins to take shape. At first, it is only movement, a shimmer, a suggestion. Then slowly, a figure appears, radiant, calm, smiling. This is money, not paper, not metal, not a number in a ledger, but the living spirit of supply. It looks at you as a dear friend looks at another after a long absence. There is no judgment in its eyes, only recognition. Let yourself breathe once, twice. Let your chest rise and fall in rhythm with its breathing. You are meeting again after lifetimes of misunderstanding. The figure steps closer. Its light touches your skin and spreads warmth through your body. It feels like sunlight, but softer, intelligent, aware, affectionate. Hear it speak, not with sound, but with presence. It says, I have never left you. I follow you wherever you go. You could never lose me, for I am born of your own being. Let those words echo inside you until they feel like your own thoughts returning home. You whisper back, perhaps aloud, perhaps only inside, I thought I had to chase you. And the figure smiles, almost laughing. You cannot chase what is already with you. You could not be without me, even if you tried. Now feel the air between you grow vibrant, charged with warmth. This is communion, the recognition of unity. The light expands and flows into your chest. It fills you, travels through your arms, your legs, down to your fingertips. Your whole body is golden. Say softly, you are my companion, my expression, my circulation of life. And here again, and you are my voice, my reason for appearing, my beloved source. Notice the shift in your heart. Something tight has uncoiled. The ache of separation dissolves. Stay in this silence for a few breaths. Inhale, feeling the warmth grow. Exhale, releasing any old fear about debt, work, or lack. With every breath, more peace enters. Now allow an image to form, a moment from your daily life. You are walking through your home, perhaps your office, perhaps down a city street, and beside you, invisible to others, but clear to you, walks this radiant being. When you pay for something, it nods approvingly. When you receive money, it laughs gently. Overjoyed at the return, it whispers, I move with you. I am not apart from you. As you bless, I multiply. You realize that every purchase, every earning, every transaction is not loss or gain, but the rhythm of this friendship, breathing in, breathing out. Imagine now that you extend your hand. The figure places its luminous hand into yours. The light joins you completely. You can feel its pulse blending with your heartbeat. Repeat quietly. We are one life. We serve the same source. You express through me. You expand through me. Stay here. Breathe with it. In this silence, the mind calms, the heart opens. You and the spirit of money are no longer two. You may see flashes, bills paid, gifts received, opportunities forming, but do not grasp them. Let them drift. This is not visualization for a single event, it is remembrance of eternal companionship. The figure's light begins to dissolve into you completely. You feel lighter, freer, surrounded by a quiet certainty. The certainty that you are provided for, guided, accompanied. You whisper one last time, "Thank you. You are always with me." And the voice replies, "Always, wherever you turn, there I am." The light fades gently, leaving a warm glow in your chest, a quiet hum behind your ribs. It is not gone, it has become you. Take a slow breath in. Exhale with a smile. Feel the body where you sit, the weight of your hands, the floor beneath your feet. You have met the living symbol of wealth. You have spoken and listened, and from this night onward, the conversation continues quietly in every act of your life. Let me tell you what this teaching looks like when it walks out of theory and into the ordinary life of men and women. There was a woman who woke every morning to a small kitchen and a table where she counted the last of her coins. Her hands trembled as she separated bills and tried to stretch them through the week. She had read my words once, but said to herself, "This cannot work for me, I am too far gone." One morning something in her broke. No, not her hope, but the habit of fear. She remembered what she had read. Speak to what you desire, as if it lives. So she took her old purse, soft and empty, and set it before her like a guest at breakfast. She smiled at it, feeling absurd. Then she said aloud, gently, "You are never empty again. You are faithful. You always bring what I need." She did it again the next morning, and again the next. The first few days, she felt nothing, only silence. But by the end of the week, something began to change. She no longer spoke out of desperation. She spoke out of affection. When she opened the purse, she would whisper, "Good morning, my friend." Within 2 weeks, payments she had forgotten began to arrive. Refunds, small debts repaid. A client from years past who suddenly reached out with new work. She said it felt as though life itself had remembered her name. She laughed and told me, "It was never the money that changed. It was me." The purse stopped being a symbol of lack and became a symbol of friendship. And friends always visit. A man once wrote to me from London. He had misplaced his wallet. Inside, a month's wages and important documents. He searched everywhere, growing more frantic with each hour. At last, exhausted, he remembered the practice. He sat quietly and imagined holding the wallet once again, not hoping or pleading, but feeling the relief and gratitude as real. He said, "I spoke to it as if it could hear me. I said, 'You are safe. You know your way home. Come back.'" Then he let the matter rest. The next evening, a stranger knocked on his door. The man explained that he had found a wallet in a cab, felt compelled to deliver it himself, and had tracked him down through an old address card inside. The wallet was untouched. Every note, every paper in place. He wrote, "It was as though the thing itself had walked back to me." And I told him, indeed, it did. Everything alive in imagination has its own intelligence. In another city lived an elderly woman who lived alone. Her pension was small, and she feared running out of cash. Each night, she would open her small coin purse, touch the few coins inside, and whisper, "You are loyal. You multiply." She spoke to it the way a mother speaks to a child she loves, calm, trusting, certain of its goodness. She told it stories, thanked it for its service, and never once complained. Months later, a neighbor noticed that she always seemed to have enough. When asked how, she smiled and said, "My purse is faithful." Her pension did not increase, but gifts appeared, groceries left at her door, neighbors insisting she keep change, unexpected discounts at the market. She said, "It feels as if life is conspiring to refill my purse faster than I can empty it." Each of these stories begins the same way. In lack, each turns the same key, recognition. And each ends with the same revelation. The outer follows the inner conversation. None of these people begged, none pleaded with heaven. They spoke with affection and authority. They commanded through love. And as their inner tone shifted from fear to friendship, money began to act as if it were listening because it was. When you make life personal, it becomes responsive. When you love what you once feared, it comes running home. Sit quietly again. The stories you've heard have softened the edges of disbelief. Now let the new feeling take root. The air around you is warm, steady, alive. Each breath draws calm deeper into the chest, and with it, a quiet knowing you are not alone. Imagine now that the light from the first meeting still surrounds you, soft gold, weightless, kind. It moves when you move. When you breathe, it breathes. This is the spirit of wealth itself, not visiting but dwelling. Whisper gently, without strain. Everywhere I go, money walks with me. Let the words ride on your breath, slow and rhythmic. Repeat them again, not with effort, but with affection. Everywhere I go, money walks with me. See yourself rise from your chair. You open the door and step into your day. The light walks beside you, unseen by others, but you feel its presence the way you feel sunlight on skin. It moves through the streets with you, enters shops, sits beside you at work, laughs with you in conversation. It is never absent, never distracted. It is a loyal companion, quiet and content. When you glance at a price tag, you hear it whisper, "I can handle that." When you see a bill arrive, it smiles. This is already taken care of. When you think of the future, it wraps an arm around your shoulder and says, "We'll be there together." You begin to notice that the world itself mirrors this companionship. The cashier smiles, the transaction flows, an unexpected refund arrives, an invitation leads to new prosperity. All of it is the same presence, moving through different faces. Walk through your home now in imagination. See this gentle light settling over the furniture, the walls, the kitchen table. Every object glows with quiet sufficiency. Nothing is lacking, nothing anxious. You touch the doorknob, it feels warm. You open a drawer. Abundance rests there like a folded note. Repeat softly, like a heartbeat. I live in abundance, I breathe in abundance, I breathe in abundance, I move through abundance. Everywhere I go, money walks with me. Let the rhythm carry you. There is no need to force the image. Let it drift and breathe. You may see yourself at work, hands moving easily, tasks finished with grace. You may see yourself at a cafe. Laughter flowing freely. Always the light moves beside you, never judging, never leaving. Now imagine the close of day. You lie down in bed. The light settles beside you like a companion, resting after a long journey. It hums quietly, the sound of contentment. You turn slightly and say within, "Thank you for another day of plenty. Thank you for staying close." The light answers not with words, but with warmth spreading through your chest, down your arms, to the tips of your fingers. You drift towards sleep, knowing that even in dreams, the companionship remains. The flow of life continues while you rest. Your friend does not sleep. In the quiet space between waking and dreaming, hear the whisper, "You no longer visit wealth, you live with it." Let that sentence become a gentle pulse in your mind. Each beat of the heart repeats it. You have entered the atmosphere where abundance is the weather of your being. Every inhale draws in sufficiency. Every exhale releases the old belief in separation. There is no striving here, only awareness. You are supplied, you are supported, you are surrounded. Stay in this atmosphere as long as you wish. If thoughts wander, bring them back with the phrase, "Everywhere I go, money walks with me." Feel how natural it becomes, how easily it settles into rhythm. Soon, it will no longer be practice, it will simply be truth. And when you wake in the morning, the world will behave as though it has heard your dream. In this stillness, the air hums with quiet joy. You and the spirit of abundance breathe together. You are home in wealth, safe in supply, held by the living presence that never leaves your side. In the next part, we will look at how this invisible companionship moves through the outer world, how the unseen law becomes visible as a bridge of incidents, carrying you gently from desire to fulfillment. Now that you have walked with the presence of wealth beside you, we come to the deepest root of all creation, feeling. For words are only vessels. They float across the surface of the mind until one of them sinks down into the heart and begins to live. Words are empty until they carry the feeling of truth. Feeling is the secret. You may speak for hours, you may recite every affirmation you can find, but if the emotion beneath them is fear, the words will bear fruit of the same kind. It is not the sound that creates, it is the state from which the sound arises. When you say, "I am wealthy," while trembling inside, you do not call wealth, you echo lack. But when you say, "I am wealthy," and your chest expands, your shoulders drop, your breath deepens, that is the vibration of truth. That is what life answers. Think of a seed. It is not the shell that grows into the tree, but the life inside it. Feeling is that life. It is the electricity behind every word, the perfume behind every thought. So when you practice speaking to money, or blessing your purse, or walking in companionship, remember this: the universe is tone deaf to words, but exquisitely sensitive to feeling. Let us practice now. Sit where you are. Close the eyes for a moment, and let the breath steady itself. Now imagine the simplest scene. You are home. The bills are paid. The air feels open. Light. There is no strain in your chest, no tightness in your stomach. A soft gratitude hums under the ribs. Let that feeling spread. Relief that everything is cared for. Gratitude that life flows easily. Quiet certainty that tomorrow is already supplied. It is not excitement. It is peace. This is the state that creates. This is the inner atmosphere that magnetizes the outer world. Now bring to mind one word: abundance. Do not say it quickly. Let it roll through you like a warm current. How does abundance feel in the body? Is it heavy or light? Does it move like air or like water? Can you taste it, like sweetness at the back of the tongue? This is what you must learn. Feeling is language. When you master it, you speak directly to the creative center of life. Many ask me, "Neville, how can I sustain the feeling?" I tell them, you cannot hold a feeling. You must become it. You do not clutch at peace. You dissolve into it. You do not cling to abundance. You rest as it. So imagine now that this calm, grateful energy begins to fill every cell until there is no you and it. There is only awareness, safe, supplied, serene. That is the state the outer world will echo. In this silence, hear the whisper. Feeling is the secret. I move only when you feel me true. Life does not respond to requests. It responds to recognition. The moment you feel something as real, creation takes its blueprint. You may forget the words tomorrow, but if the feeling remains, the manifestation is inevitable. To live without fear is not arrogance. It is obedience to the law. When you feel safe, you allow the unseen to do its work. When you feel grateful, you multiply what you bless. So from now on, before you speak any word of desire, pause for a moment and let the feeling of peace rise first. Then let the words come dressed in that calm. Practice this tonight. Before sleep, lie still and remember the feeling of being cared for. Not a single need left unanswered. Breathe as one who already has, not as one who waits. Let gratitude hum softly, as if your heart itself were saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." You will know when the law has heard you, for sleep will come easily, and the dream will be sweet. Feeling is the secret, and gratitude is the doorway through which it enters. When feeling and word agree, heaven and earth meet. Lie back. Let the lights dim in your mind. The day has finished its work, and now the night opens like a gentle hand. Your breath is slow, steady, rhythmic. Each inhale gathers peace. Each exhale releases effort. There is nothing to chase, nothing to prove, nothing left undone. You have spoken your words. You have walked with the presence of abundance. Now you rest inside it. As you drift towards sleep, imagine money not as paper, not as metal, but as a living being, quiet, radiant, breathing beside you. It rests near your heart, loyal and at ease. Its form shimmers softly like golden light. You can feel the warmth of it on your skin. It does not demand. It does not flee. It simply is. Whisper gently, "You are here with me, you never leave. You are faithful, you multiply as I sleep." Pause, let the silence between each phrase be filled with calm. You are peace to me, you are freedom to me, you are joy clothed in form. You sense a quiet pulse, like a second heartbeat. It is the rhythm of money's spirit, breathing in harmony with yours. Two presences, one human, one divine, resting as one. Now see yourself lying in a room, washed with golden light. The walls glow faintly. The air hums with warmth. You are safe. You are provided for. You are loved. Let gratitude rise gently from your chest. Thank you for staying. Thank you for flowing. Thank you for answering me. And the presence replies, not in words but in feeling. I was never gone. Imagine now that this golden light expands beyond the room, seeping through the walls, filling your entire home. Every object glows. The table, the door, the pillow beneath your head. Everything whispers abundance. Nothing lacks. Repeat softly, almost like a lullaby. Everywhere I go, you follow. Everywhere I rest, you stay. Everywhere I breathe, you flow. Let the phrases slow merge with the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, you are with me. Exhale, I am supplied. Inhale, we are one. Exhale, all is well. Now feel your body sinking deeper into the bed. The edges between you and the air blur. The presence beside you becomes indistinguishable from the space within you. There is no you and money. There is only one quiet awareness. I am. And within that awareness, abundance hums eternally. You see a vision, yourself walking through tomorrow's world. Calm, smiling, radiant. Every door opens easily. Every bill is paid before you even touch it. People greet you with warmth. You move as one who has nothing to fear, nothing to chase. This is not imagination as fantasy. This is creation in motion. You are painting tomorrow with tonight's feeling. Now let the mind grow softer. The sentences dissolve into tone, into rhythm, into breath. You need not think anymore. You are already in the wish fulfilled. Whisper one final time. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for following me everywhere. Let gratitude fill the chest like light in a cup, until it spills over and covers the whole body. Every cell glows with quiet joy. Every breath sings the same truth. I am abundance. Sleep now. Sleep knowing that as you dream, the presence keeps watch. It arranges, attracts, and multiplies. You will wake in a world subtly changed, a world echoing tonight's peace. And when your eyes open in the morning light, you will smile, because you will know that money did not come to visit. It lives here now. It breathes with you. It follows you everywhere. Rest in that knowing. Let sleep carry you gently into the dream where imagination and reality are one. Breathe in wealth. Exhale gratitude. I am supplied. I am secure. I am at peace. I am peace. And with those final words, drift away, not into forgetting, but into creation. Now, my friend, as the night fades and dawn begins to whisper at the edge of your mind, we come to the final revelation, the heart of all that has been said. You have spoken to money. You have walked beside it. You have felt it rest with you as a living companion. And you have seen how it listens, how it obeys, how it flows to those who honor it as spirit. But here, in this quiet hour, a deeper truth rises like the morning sun. You were never speaking to money. You were speaking to God within you. All along, every word, every vision, every feeling was a mirror pointing inward. The law, this sacred art of imagination, feeling, and assumption, is the doorway. But the promise is what stands beyond the doorway, the awakening to who you truly are. Money, love, health, success. These are shadows of something infinitely greater. They are symbols of the creative life that flows from the one eternal source, I am. And that I am is not outside of you. It is your own awareness, the silent, observing presence that imagines worlds and calls them good. You see now why I taught that imagination creates reality. It was never to make you a collector of things, but a knower of self, to reveal that every coin, every circumstance, every answered prayer is but a reflection of your own divine power, remembering itself. When you spoke to money, it was not metal or paper that heard you. It was life itself, wearing that name for your sake. When you felt abundance surrounding you, it was not wealth you touched. It was God, disguised as supply, reminding you that all things already belong to the one who says, I am. Let this understanding dissolve the last remnant of separation. You are not a seeker of riches. You are the source from which riches spring. You are not calling abundance from afar. You are awakening to the truth that abundance was never gone. The law was given to teach you mastery. The promise is given to show you divinity. Through the law, you learn that imagination governs the outer world. Through the promise, you discover that imagination is God, and that the one imagining is none other than you. In this realization, the chase ends, the fear ends, the prayers of desperation fall silent. You no longer beg heaven to send what you already contain. You no longer treat money as a master or even as a friend, but as a symbol of your own creative life, forever loyal, forever present. You understand now that all creation is relationship within consciousness, and the greatest relationship is not between you and money, nor you and the world, but between you and the eternal self, that whispers through all things, I am that I am. So when you speak now, speak not as a beggar, nor as a servant, but as a creator awakening from the dream of lack. Say quietly, with reverence and power, I am abundance made visible. I am the source, clothed in form. I am the cause of every good thing. And as these words settle into silence, you will feel it, the stillness that follows understanding, the peace that passes all reasoning, for you have come home to yourself. The law was the ladder. The promise is the view from the mountaintop. And from this height, you see that there was never anything to climb, only something to remember. All the wealth of heaven and earth is already yours, because you and the Father are one. So rest now in that knowing. Let the mind be quiet. Let the heart expand. For the journey that began as a conversation with money has ended in communion with God. You have spoken to the living presence, and the living presence has spoken back, not from the outside, but from within. And its voice says gently, all that I have is yours, and all that you have is mine. This is the fulfillment of the law and the revelation of the promise. The true treasure is not in the coins that glitter, but in the light that imagined them. And that light, my beloved friend, is you. Seda, be still, and know that I am God. That is the final word. If this message has awakened something within you, a quiet remembering of who you truly are, let it continue to unfold. Subscribe, so this truth keeps finding you when you need it most. And share in the comments what you felt, not just what you heard. Every story, every word, every realization adds light to this circle of remembrance. Until we meet again, live from the knowing that I am is already enough.